Welcome to the special event studio, episode 24. Our guest today is Lisa Zivontsis. She is the project manager of meetings and events for the event partner. Lisa, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Great to have you here. Thank you very much for agreeing to spend some time here with me.
No problem.
And with your work at the event partner, we'll get into that after. But this is all about you. And so take us back a little bit. Where did it all start for you? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Etobicoke. So, and now I live in East York now, but basically Toronto girl.
Okay, East York. Where is East York in Toronto?
I live off the Danforth, so
Okay,
Greek town.
okay. Etobicoke, Toronto girl. When you're growing up, what did you want to do for a living?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I ever really figured that out until I was in my 20s.
And like, did you go to school?
Yeah, well, I went to Brock University. I took the Recreation and Leisure Studies program there. But it's funny, when I was in high school, I was athletic, and I was on the athletic council, and I spent a couple of years as the special event coordinator on the athletic council. So I was running tournaments and the athletic banquets and all those types of things. And then I went to Brock. I got into this recreation program, which was of interest to me. But even once I got there, I got on the student council for my program, and once again ended up running socials and just getting involved in running events for people. And I think it was about halfway through university that I said, yeah, well, I seem to be drawn to this, and I finished out my degree, but thought that would be the direction I would go in after.
Awesome. That's very like the way I growing up sports started organizing the stuff and that's kind of how I got into it as well. And Brock is a great school. My daughter goes to Brock, so Ace is there. And so okay, so out of school, then you decided like so how did you get into your present role?
I mean, I got one job, was there for like a year and a half right out of school. Got a little bit of experience. Then I moved on to a company called Congress Canada that doesn't exist anymore. It was the owner retired, but I was there for about 8 years. Got a lot of really great experience working under some really experienced planners. And then I started having kids and was looking for more flexibility, and I started working as an independent. And that's when kind of the event partner was born. Born at the
Okay,
same time my children were, I guess.
okay, so Congress Canada, is that, are they considered a destination management company?
They were a DMC and a convention and conference planning company.
What's the difference between a destination management company and say the event partner?
Well, I don't really work as a DMC, as the event partner. The event partner focuses more on conference management and logistics. I do a lot of trade shows, that sort of thing. DMC, you're working as an expert for your city, your destination. So, when you're working with a DMC, you're often coming into the city and you're looking for somebody who's going to tell you, this is the transportation company that you want to work with. We're going to coordinate that for you. We're going to plan, your parties. These are the best venues. We might, plan tours, um, if you have, attendees coming in for a conference and you want to be able to say, hey, why don't you sign up for a tour of Toronto, or we'll take you to Niagara Falls. So a DMC would handle something like that.
I've been in the industry 30 years, 30 years, and I never knew what a DMC was. So thank you for
Oh, well, there you
clarifying
go.
that. Okay, so the event partner, you say it was born around the time when your kids were born. Is the event partner, is it yours?
It is. It is mine.
Okay, I thought that, Lisa, and you just call yourself a project manager as opposed to the owner.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should start calling myself the owner or something. I think it kind of evolved. When I first started working independently, I was freelancing more than anything else. So I was just kind of putting myself out there as an event project manager. And, I've seen a lot of growth in what I was doing and incorporated last year and kind of made it the real deal. So I guess now I am an owner and I should call myself that.
Well, and I get it. Sometimes there's a lot of people that do that. They don't want to be seen as the president or owner or whatnot, and they feel that that's I don't know, might the percept not the perception they want to give their clients. So whatever works for you. So now, how old are your kids?
10 and 8.
So that tells us that the event partner is around 10 to 8 years old.
Yeah.
Cool. You successfully kind of worked that in with life balance with raising kids and being a business owner. Like, was it less work when you wanted it, like when the kids were small and you had to be around them, that just worked well?
Yeah, I think it just provided a little more flexibility. I I do travel with work, so I mean that part was hard, but I have a great partner who, he can take care of the kids and the house and everything without me. So he's been a great support. Um, but what I love about being kind of my own boss and working independently is I'll have those ebbs and flows and ups and downs. As we know with the events industry, you might work really long hours leading up to an event and then on the event days. But then once something's behind me, I can take some time off, maybe work half days, maybe just check my email once in the morning and just be more present with my family for a little bit. So I've just found it's given me that level of flexibility.
Sure.
I just, I also just have to decide sometimes what my hours are and not be glued to the idea that this is a 9 to 5 job, because there are times when I might have to go take a half day and do something for my kids or volunteer at that bake sale or whatever that is. And then maybe that just means after they go to bed, I do a couple more hours in the evening.
And then I guess you can also, can you decline jobs should you
Yeah.
choose to? Tough to do that.
It's a little easier now. I mean, at the beginning, you kind of want to take everything just from a financial standpoint and get yourself established. But, after the 10 years I've been doing this on my own, I have a great roster of clients that I love working with. And it puts me in a position that if there's something that just doesn't work into my schedule or it's not the type of event that I want to do, I have that flexibility to turn something down or pass it off to another planner who might be more interested in it.
Perfect, perfect. And the latest, I've known you for I got quite a few years. The latest that
Yeah.
we've been working together on. So we have a venue. Lisa uses one of our venues on a fairly regular basis with a very large financial company. That's a good client. I won't say it in
Yeah.
case you don't want that said here, but that's a really good client. So you got clients like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now my question is, how did you navigate your way through the pandemic? Was it better or worse to be a business owner going through that?
Well, I like a lot of planners, I did lose a lot of work right off the bat. Um, I look back at that now. It was stressful, I think, at the time, financially and being unsure of what was coming. But I look back at it now and I spent an entire summer with my kids. My husband has a steady job, so he was doing his thing, and the kids, they got sent home from school. So from that standpoint, it put me in a position to be able to do that little bit of homeschooling we were able to do. And then once the summer hit, I was kind of like camp counselor mom and keeping them busy. And we actually had a really great summer. So from a personal standpoint, I look back at that and I say, it forced me to take that break and have that really great time with them. Um, from a business standpoint, it was hard to be unsure of what was to come. And a lot of my clients were looking to me like I had a crystal ball. should we rebook for next year? When do you think we'll be able to have live events again? And, I heard that from a lot of other planners that they were being asked those questions. And I mean, we know the events industry, but I mean, this was a whole global health crisis, and there was no way for event planners to know when those things were going to change. So, um, I mean, it was tough, but I got right into virtual events in the fall and was able to do that for a bit until we were able to get back in person.
So leading, can't even remember I guess 2020, that
2020, yeah.
winter 2020 into the summer, you had a great summer. And then after that, you got into virtual. Like, did you have to, how did you jump into that? Like, did you know that, like the tech part, that like, or did you just working with your clients saying, hey, we can do something virtual?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly tech savvy. I did take a few online courses and I got my digital event strategist through PCMA. But I find with something like that, you can take all the courses you want, but really experience is what is going to get you comfortable with what to expect, how to troubleshoot, kind of looking out for those things that you may not learn just by taking a course. So what ended up, the first virtual event I actually just volunteered. It was uh, a colleague of mine runs the Sustainable Events Forum, and they were doing a virtual event, and she was just looking for some help. So it was more of a volunteer role, working on that, but it did give me the experience to then confidently move forward with other clients on how to run a virtual.
You get that experience, and then okay, you're going to present to one of your clients the possibility of doing a virtual event. Do you have to hire like a tech company to do that?
I mean, virtual events can be run on various different levels. If you want a really high quality production, you work with an AV company. A lot of them have studios set up in their offices now, so it looks like a TV studio. Um, so I mean, you can have a really highly produced virtual event, but that obviously that's going to cost more. And then I ran more simple webinars where I worked as a Zoom technician and just ran that side of things. And just having a Zoom license is all you need, and an invitation list. So there's really that high level, and then there's a very basic level, and I've done them all.
Like we're doing right here.
Yeah.
Because this is why I'm doing a podcast, is because when we first got shut down, that's like my bosses were looking for content, and that's why we
Mm-hmm.
started this. So we can do it as simple as this, or and I visited Bespoke's studio, um, an AV company, and they got a
Mm-hmm.
really nice, it's really cool place that they really kind of got into in the pandemic as well. So now, okay, then coming out of the pandemic, like you still have your whole client roster. So I guess that's gonna generate your business as we've gotten back. Now, are you crazy busy now, or
Yeah. I was crazy busy last year. So it was interesting. Last year, I picked up a new client kind of towards the beginning of the year, and they're a great client I'm still working with. And then as the year went on, I just kept hearing from old clients who were saying, "Okay, yeah, we're ready to get back live. Let's do it." And so things just kept dropping into my schedule as the year went on. And before I knew it, I was very, very busy. So it was good, but
that's yeah, and that's
a
awesome
shock to the system.
for sure. But a good problem to have, I know. But I've kind of like I started out um, managing events, so I but I've now kind of out of the implementation part of it. But I very much admire what you do, and what other people in the industry do, because particularly you, when you are the main person that's dealing with your clients, the stress level, like, because if something slips through the cracks, you can't, there's no way around it, I mean, if you
Mhm.
forget to order the chairs or the plates or something like that, it's you know it. Your client's on you about it. Like
Hmm.
how do you handle that stress?
I try not to forget to order the chairs.
There you go. You try just do better, right?
I just do better. I don't know. I think I would say many years ago, earlier on in my career, I really internalized everything and I would feel that stress. And, I can admit that I was probably a big ball of stress at every event. I think just over the years with experience and like even life changes, you have a family, you lose loved ones. It kind of puts things in perspective in a way where you kind of just go, well, I just gonna get in there, I'm gonna do my best, and that, just forget the rest, I guess. You do your best. If you make a mistake, you fix it and you learn from it and you move on. I do still feel that stress sometimes. I think I feel it in a different way than I would say I felt it 15 years ago.
Absolutely, I completely relate to that and agree with that. Okay, and so the other thing comes along with that. With you have so many things going on, it's time management. Any advice on how to manage all these things? Because you are multitasking, but multitasking is a tough thing to do and do many things well. Any
Yeah.
tips on how to do that?
Make lists, make lists, check things off. But I mean, that's a very, simple solution. But as I said, with time management, and when I think about all of it, I think about juggling my family life, my kids, and my job. Um, that I really just, as I said, I need to be flexible with my time, and if it means going back to the computer for an extra hour just to review my checklist at the end of the day, make sure I didn't miss anything, then that's what I do. Because oftentimes, I might finish my day at 4 o'clock because I got to go pick up kids from camp or, wherever they are, take them to an activity or get dinner started because somebody has baseball at 5:30. It's just being flexible, but making sure that you kind of take that time to review what you're doing and make sure that you didn't miss anything.
Got it.
And, as I said, sometimes for me, that means going back to the computer for another half hour or so at the end of the day. Um,
Review. I got it. That's
yeah.
all. I will start practicing more review time. You got your client roster now. Do you have like a list of like you do you deal with the same caterer all the time or all the same suppliers all the time?
um, Not really. I mean, as I said, I kind of travel to different locations. So, and oftentimes working in a convention center, it's in-house catering. So yeah, I'm often just going with sometimes my clients already have a preferred supplier, so I kind of work with who their preferred suppliers are when it comes to AV. And then catering, I often just end up working with whoever is in-house or as I said, if I'm working in a conference center or convention center, they already have catering in-house. So I just have to, work with who they got.
And as we do, but we certainly allow third party caterers in. So I'm glad that you don't have a caterer that you absolutely have to use, and you can use us. Okay, another. Can you share one life lesson that you've learned along the way?
I think it's just for for me, I'd say letting things go. Like, we talked about the stress level and making mistakes or forgetting something and being able to, as I said, learn from the situation, take that lesson learned and then move on and kind of let it go. I think rather than losing sleep over it for 3 nights.
You've done that in the past.
Oh yeah. I've lost so much sleep.
So I guess one of the things that we get older, we get wiser, right, Lisa?
Yeah,
Perfect. Well, hey, Lisa, I again I want to thank you for taking the time, but
it's okay.
thank you very much for taking your time to come on here. I know you're busy. It's summer, and hopefully you're not taking time away from the kids for this. But thanks, and I'll look forward to seeing you in our venues. But all the best with your business as you get further and further away from this pandemic.
Thank you so much. It was great talking.